Hey, everybody, welcome to an episode of Behind the Cape. I am Data Superhero Keith Belanger. I am joined today by fellow Data Superhero Veronika Durgin. Welcome, Veronica. Happy you can join me.
Hey Keith, so happy to be here. Where's
So,
your cape? I have to
oh, I
ask.
don't, I don't
I
have a cape. I
Oh
was
my
not in
gosh.
one of the
I know. I'm like
original.
you need to get one of these.
I know. See, now you're literally
I'm
behind the
I'm I'm
cape.
showing off. I know.
I don't have a cape to hang up, so people have to be careful at Summit. Maybe I'll have to, find a cape I can
I know.
Steel. So, but I no, thanks for joining us, and I think you got a insightful topic today on Snowsight. So yeah, one thing about the behind the cape, what I really want to understand is people want to hear what are the superheroes doing out there? What's going on in your world? And you brought up talking about Snowsight. So yeah, tell us all about Snowsight and how you're using it.
Yeah, so I'll start with a very bad mom joke,
Oh,
the
okay.
dad joke. Okay, here it goes. What superpower do all Snowflake data superheroes have in common?
What?
Snow sight.
Oh,
I know,
you should
eyes
put that one.
rolled.
I'm gonna put that
Haha.
one in my database.
That database.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been using Snowsight for a while, probably as soon as they kind of made it publicly available, and I used it through all the kinks and ups and downs.
Yeah.
I usually say I have a relationship with Snowsight. One time we had to break up for a little bit. There was a one of major issue where it wasn't showing nulls as nulls, it was showing them as empty
Oh,
strings. So I spent a few hours troubleshooting data quality issues, and then we broke up for a little bit, but then we found each other again. I do a lot of data wrangling, if you will,
yep,
in my day to day. So this is a perfect user interface for me. I
yep.
also, I think one of the biggest selling points to me, which was kind of like also, I guess, classic uh, web UI had it, where I can use it in any web browser on any computer. So I would literally go from my work computer to my personal computer. I'll open up a browser and I'll have everything.
Yep.
Um, Snowsight has a ton of different features, and hopefully I'll kind of walk you through some of my favorite ones. The team is also continuously pushing new features out. I do have some gripes, so periodically, like I get excited. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is a great feature!" I'm like, "Oh no, why did they do this?" So, like I said,
Yeah,
I do have a relationship with Snowsight.
yeah. And I will say I was one of the ones who, I stayed on the old UI because I was very comfortable and didn't really venture over. So I'm definitely interested to hear how you're using it because I've been one of the ones that I get comfortable with the old, and I guess I got to start using some of the new capabilities myself. So
I I understand, but as you probably know, with Snowflake, there's always more than one way to accomplish something. So
absolutely. Yep.
there we go.
Absolutely. So, and I'm one always ready to learn. So I'm excited to see what you get to show us here. All right.
So yeah, do you want me?
You want me to bring up your screen?
Yeah.
All right. So
Let's
let's,
go. All right.
all right.
So to get access to Snowsight, you can just simply type app.snowflake.com. It'll bring you to a screen where you can enter the name of your Snowflake instance. Unfortunately, I can't show you because I have very many. Some of them are my work, so I won't be sharing that. But let's log in. All right. So here we go. As you can see, this is all of my worksheets. I've done some work. I loaded some data because I wanted to show you some examples. So kind of like one of the big questions that often comes up, when to use Snowsight versus when to use like a real BI tool. Snowsight is not a replacement for BI tool. It's not a replacement for development environment. So if you
Gotcha.
code, if you need to deploy, if you need to, put your code on GitHub, use VS Code or whatever. But for data exploration, data wrangling, just kind of quick basic data analytics, this is the place to be. So
Right.
as you notice, again, one it's the little things that make me happy. I could actually customize mine. I added my little avatar.
Avatar.
Humble brag, I have an avatar as a Snowflake data superhero. So I just,
Yes.
Made it a little
Yes.
personal.
The those of us who aren't in the original superhero group, we're all still someday waiting we'll get our avatar, but good for you.
I know I keep like rubbing it in. I know I'm sorry it's mean, but it's so cool and it looks like me, or maybe it looks like I wish I looked like. So
Yeah.
I love it. Let's see, before we dive into worksheets, I kind of there's a few things as you can see on the left-hand side. Marketplace is one of them. So, data sharing marketplace, you can do a lot of explorations here, super easy. Um, the other thing, again, lots of information. I'm just going to show you my favorite things
Okay.
and users and roles. Like I could literally, this is all of your roles and how they, inherit each other. Um, Obviously, my demo account is pretty clean. I am
Yes.
sure your production one is not. Um,
Yes. Yeah, I
y-
will agree with you on this one. This is one that I have used since they come out, and the first time I saw it was like, this is fantastic. Because before I used to do these like nested query, it was awful trying to understand the hierarchical. So I agree, this is a fantastic perspective.
and again, you can, kind of like drill into each one. I the first time they released this feature, I literally spent, I think it was like on a Friday night, and I went, oh my God, and I spent like hours, just hours diving in and then asking my team a gazillion questions. Why is this way?
Right.
Why is this an orphan doesn't, roll into another role? So what, like
It's
again, love it.
yeah, I agree. It's great to see that hierarchical perspective because like I've seen the same thing. Like, why is this role inheriting this role? It shouldn't be that way, right? So it's a great perspective.
Or an orphan, right? Like you have a role that
Yes.
doesn't actually
Go
roll
go
into
anywhere.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I've
kind of
got
like
oops.
if you have an antisocial role, it
Yeah,
just likes to be by itself.
itself. Yep.
The other, again, query history is a great place. You can see like ran a bunch of stuff, and as you click through it, you see a query, you see a query profile.
Yeah,
Highly recommend everybody to look at their query profiles. It's very enlightening. It'll conveniently show you where you might be doing some silly stuff. So absolutely take a look at that. And then you can filter by various different things. So if you know specific query, if you want to do wildcard search. So it's kind of like, yes, you can run a query, but this kind of gives you a GUI on top of it, just a little bit easier.
yeah, it can accelerate some of those things that we'd have
Yeah.
to write queries on before. Exactly. No, it's good.
So I'm going to go back to my worksheets. Cool thing, which is fairly recent addition, is Python worksheets. So you can have a SQL worksheet and then you can have a Python worksheet side by side. Um, I am a SQL gal. I write everything in SQL. I can SQL my way out of anything. But there are members of my team that use Python, so they can literally have these side by side
Like,
within the same IDE.
oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm on the same page as you. I'm a SQL person, um, in depth, but that's really great that you can have both if you're doing SQL and Python and not have to go to some other solution to do that.
Yeah, 100%. You can organize your stuff into folders. So, which is another neat thing. If you kind of like, it gives you all the recent, and I am kind of messy. I do my best to organize my stuff into folders. So I have, because superheroes, I love superhero data. So here, kind of like all of my worksheets that I use to load data. But let's go into my demo one.
Okay.
So the newest, most amazing feature is tabs. You can now have various queries open within the same window, same URL. Um, that like before, I used to have just multiple tabs, multiple browser tabs to have queries side by side, but now I have tabs inside the same browser tab.
Yep. One of the things I like about the tabs, and when I've done something like this is that I can have tabs playing different roles. And so that you can switch your roles if you're trying to test roles back to those hierarchies and have when I go to this tab, be on that role and this tab be on that role without having to necessarily get out and go back in.
The tricky part with that is that the role is set at the folder level.
Oh,
So
okay.
make
Oh,
sure that then you organize. It'll
gotcha.
warn you. The cool thing, which like I love, is like what I tell when I do trainings internally. Don't worry, Snowflake will tell you when you're
Tell you.
doing something stupid. Uh, don't worry about it. It'll complain. So it will complain. It'll tell you that you're changing your role for the entire folder.
So that just goes to show you how much I organize in folders that I didn't know that because I switch between my worksheets and I've never had that, but I don't have the folders.
My guess is yours is probably not quite as organized. So
No,
again, you can
no.
toggle here. So another thing that I absolutely love and I use a lot is various searching capabilities. So for example, if I want to search for this object, so right now I'm in the database tab right here on the left-hand side. So I can just type it here. It finds it for me. The other cool thing is also relatively recent addition is that if I added comments to my columns, this is my data dictionary.
Okay, interesting.
So a really, really great thing. Obviously, if you don't add it, then you won't have it. But if
Right.
you like add comments when you create your objects,
Yep.
you'll have this. You can
Good data
also do
modeling practices there.
exactly, exactly. So make sure for those of you who are using DBT, if you're creating YAML, this is where all of your YAML definitions are going.
Oh,
So
nice.
you can see it directly right in Snowsight. You can search your worksheets as well. So I have two worksheets that have this object in them. So
Nice.
it's very neat. And then you can just click on it and it'll open a tab for you, that worksheet. All right, I'm going to go back to my demo. The other thing you can do, which I do quite a lot as well, so obviously the result set that you get in Snowsight isn't everything. So if you like searching for a gazillion rows, you won't get the entire output. But if your result set is relatively small, you can search for specific values within it. So for example, let me run this. So I'm running select star. I don't have that many records. And I want to find all the occurrence of spider. So it'll actually search entire result set and flag whichever column has spider in it. So this is
Oh,
super
okay.
useful as well. The other thing that is, again, also very neat, see on this right-hand side, it gives you some statistics, kind of like about every column, which
Yep.
is okay, cool. Sometimes I care, sometimes I don't. What you can do further is if you click on any of that, I'm going to click on mutant right now.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. So it reduced it to just mutants. Actually, it didn't. What happened here? Let's try again. Did we find a glitch?
You get
Oh no.
the demo glitch,
I know. Oh no.
or you found a bug.
Maybe. Doesn't want to do it. Let's try again. Yesterday was complaining about warehouse. Let's give it a try again. Maybe it's the demo account, that cheap demo account. Um, all right, let's find neutral. Yeah, look at that. Neutral. What is it actually? Good.
There
Okay,
you go.
here we go. So maybe you have to click on it a few times for it to work.
It looked like
Um,
the check mark went dark blue. Maybe
yeah.
it's like a
So, and if
double
you
click thing.
unclick it, and you can click multiple ones
There
too.
you go.
You
Nice.
obviously, if you click on these, you can sort.
Or
Sometimes it lets you format, depending on the data type.
oh, look at that. I'm taking notes. I'm learning all kinds of stuff today.
All right, so super duper cool. The other thing that we do quite a lot is we share queries with each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this query. I created an account for Keith. So I'm going to share this query with them. So I'm going to go click on share. I'm going to add Keith here. So kind of like you can actually decide what Keith can see and what people with link can see. You don't have to explicitly share your worksheet with somebody. You can just give them a link, but this is what drives what people cannot see. So I'm actually going to let Keith do everything, including edit. So I'm going to get a link, done. I'm going to post this in the comment to Keith. Here
Okay.
you go.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen so people can see that there's no there's, you know, no smoke and mirrors here. So I'm going to add mine, which you see mine's blank. And now I'm going to take the link that you have given me and going to look at that.
Ta-da.
And so now if I were to go to my
If you go back to Worksheets, to
worksheet,
Home, this
yeah,
will now live in Shared with Me. So
so
this
there it
will
is.
forever be there. So
Now,
now we can
question.
collaborate.
So if I make changes to this worksheet,
Let's try.
it's right.
So I gave you added permissions. So if you make changes to it, I should be able to see it. So if you want to add like a filter, maybe add where clause and say, I don't know,
We're good.
I don't know. All right, so hit run. What I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh my query. And if you stop sharing, and I promise I didn't type it,
Just switch over to you now.
this is my screen. So
This is your
now
screen. Yeah.
we can collaborate.
Oh, okay. So we're actually, yeah. So this is great. So it's not like here's a copy of my worksheet. It's let's collaborate back and forth.
So actually, let's do this. If you, and I know people can see it, so I am not typing, but type something else in, like don't share your screen, but type something else and then I'll refresh it and we'll see it just to, again, prove again that we're not,
All right. I'm actually just gonna
you
take out
can
the where
just add a
clause.
comment. You can just say hello to me.
And do I have to run it for you to see it? So I've
No, I don't
modified
think
it.
so. Are you done? Let me
Yep.
refresh my query. So I'm
And all
gonna
I did was
just
I
refresh.
commented out the where clause. That's
There
it.
you go.
Yep.
So we can now collaborate in a common
Oh,
folder.
this is actually really neat. I didn't even know you could do this. So
Yep. So here we
very good
go.
stuff. Nice.
So what else? Okay, that's my screen. I'm like, okay, what else are we doing? Okay, the other thing you can do is create charts. So they're pretty basic, but really nice visualization. What I'm going to do is so you can obviously convert the result that you have in your query to a chart. But what I'm going to do is show you dashboards. So I'm going to go into dashboards, and I created a superheroes dashboard. So with some stuff, so kind of like just to show you what you can do. So there's basic visualization bars and, heat map, but you can also add custom filters. So look at this one, superhero lookup. I created a custom filter. I can do all. Done. I'm going to run. And what you'll see is now I have everybody.
Oh, nice.
So let me go into Spider. You can select multiple ones. And I'm going to run. And so what I'll show you is what the query looks like. So these are all my Spider superheroes. So when we look at the query, this is what it looks like inside.
Yep.
And this is how you create filters. There are a couple that come pre-built for dates, so you can do date ranges or specific dates. And this is the one that I created myself. This one is driven by a query that just lists distinct superhero names.
Nice.
And you can share dashboards just like I shared queries, just by giving this link or explicitly sharing.
Sharing.
Again, you want to make sure that it'll complain, actually make sure that the role has permission. I'm account admin, which is not a good thing. So I'm going to change
Right.
it to analyst. And then you can share that.
Gotcha. This is really great, especially if like we're not ready to go to the BI tool yet, but
Mhm.
let's see if the data is coming in a way that we can explore it the way we want. You know, kind of a little bit of a pre pre work, and then say, okay, yeah, think the data is looking good. Now you can go over to your BI tool. So a little bit of pre pre discovery work, but in looking at it from a kind of an early business perspective.
And it's kind of like you're not. So to build something, again, this is very basic functionality, but you don't need extra licenses for BI tools. If you do like basic operational dashboards,
Yep.
even within the team, like we do Snowflake monitoring, right? Like, does it need to be somewhere in BI tool and for the team to have license? Maybe, maybe not. You also data's right there.
Yep.
So again, there's a time and a place for sure, and I oftentimes like, oh, but it's not the same as ABC. It's not,
Right.
but it's there. So it's a tool in your tool belt. So take advantage of it where it's applicable.
No, this was fantastic, and like I said I've learned a lot, and gonna use some of the features that you've shared with me today to with our own teams. Like, did you guys know I'm gonna look smart now tomorrow when I go back to the team? So I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
I'm gonna bring us back to the. Is there anything else that you wanted to share on your screen?
No, I think that's it. You can see how much money I spent on my
That this demo
demo
cost us four
Snowflake.
dollars and six cents.
Yeah, it's all there. It also tells you, I just created my account, so I
Yeah,
have a little bit more you can get out of it.
yeah, you can use the Snowsight, right, to see how your organization is doing, or maybe not.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
Right.
so a lot of things. Again, they're constantly developing and adding new features. So even if something's missing now or kinky, it gets better every day.
Yeah. Well, I greatly appreciate you joining me today, Veronica. That was um, very insightful with Snowsight. I appreciate it. So, are you going to be at the summit this year?
I will be at the summit. Find me. You'll probably see me. Well, I don't think I'll be wearing my cape this time, but I'm sure you'll be able to find me. Would love to hang out and chat and
Yeah,
learn some new
absolutely.
stuff.
I look forward to seeing you there. And if you guys see Veronica, make sure you or myself, tap us on the shoulder, say hi. And but again, thanks for joining me today, Veronica. On Behind the Cape. This was exciting. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Keith.